Apparently, stealing electricity is now eco-friendly, at least if you drive a Tesla, and your name is Vivian, which if you ask me already sounds like trouble. My HOA. Karen kept rolling up to my off-grid cabin, plugging her shiny Model S right into my solar grid, acting like she'd reserved a green charging spot on Airbnb, never once thinking to ask, never once considering what else my little solar setup might be powering. You want a real lesson in renewable energy? Keep listening, because her Tesla got more than just a charge. So there I am, coding away on a morning that couldn't get any better. Steam rising from my coffee birds, chirping sun catching off the solar panels, that perfect low hum, telling me everything's working when I hear it, the whine of a luxury EV fighting my dirt driveway. I peek out the window and there she is, Vivian in head-to-toe environmental chic, clutching a water bottle bedazzled with Earth Day stickers and wearing that desperate look reserved for people whose battery just hit 0 stranded miles from the nearest Starbucks. She's tapping her phone, probably looking for charging stations out here in the sticks. Then spots me and marches up with the confidence of someone who's never heard the word no. "Excuse me. My Tesla's dead and I've got an HOA meeting in an hour. Heard you might have a charger." The panic is real, but so's the entitlement, and somehow her emergency has magically become my problem. I'm not totally heartless. She's stuck after all. So I point to the outlet by the utility shed, giving her my "it's not a public charging station" warning. She lights up like I just saved the whales, raving about community cooperation and green initiatives while she plugs in. And while her car's soaking up my sun, Vivian does what every influencer does. Fires up her phone to record green living content parading around my property as if she's the eco-Martha Stewart of the Midwest, cataloging every panel, every pipe, every system she clearly doesn't understand. But then she starts snooping, tracing lines and labels, hovering a little too close to my septic area. You could see the light bulb flicker. She pauses, ditches her live stream, and starts furiously Googling. I hear her mumbling about electrical septic code violations and environmental infractions, and suddenly the desperate neighbor is gone. Now I'm looking at a woman who just found a gold mine and can't wait to cash in. I let her go, but I checked the cameras that night just in case something about her vibe stuck with me. And what do I find Vivian 20 minutes later pacing my property, phone glued to her ear? "You won't believe what I just found, mixed electrical waste system. This guy handed me a jackpot." Her voice is giddy already, plotting her complaint, talking about using the River Road playbook. It hits me. She's not an amateur, she's a pro. This is sport for her, weaponizing bureaucracy for fun or profit or who knows what. So now I'm the next target for her environmental crusade, me, the guy who helped her out. She's planning her attack, and I know if I don't get proactive, my peaceful cabin days are numbered. But you know what? I'm an engineer. If she wants an education, I'll give her a masterclass in off-grid systems. The very next morning, here comes Vivian again. New look, new attitude gone. Is the panic replaced by a safari vest, a tackle box full of testing equipment, and enough printed paper to choke a printer. She sets up shop at my picnic table, laying out pool pH strips, now relabeled as professional soil testers, a kitchen thermometer in a case labeled precision monitor, and a bunch of essential oils she claims neutralize toxic energy fields. You can't make this stuff up. She waves and announces, "I'm just going to do a quick assessment for everyone's safety," like she's deputized herself as environmental sheriff. I almost laugh, but instead I flip the switch on my new educational system, motion sensors, LED displays, and a speaker that launches into Welcome to Waste Systems 101 the second she gets too close to the shed. Vivian undeterred beams at her phone camera, explaining my system as advanced integration. She's streaming this nonsense to 8 viewers, probably all bots, completely misunderstanding every warning and indicator. Now she's dipping her pH strip into a puddle, just rainwater, mind you, declaring the brown color as proof of organic growth enhancement, while the comment section explodes, "Karen, that's sewage water." But she just deletes any negative comments, clinging to her narrative like it's gospel. Cue the sprinklers timed, of course, but I might have bumped up the schedule. Suddenly, she's mid-sentence about electromagnetic soil enhancement, and bam, she gets a full shower. Technical difficulties. She sputters, phone nearly soaked, blazer drooping, while my neighbor Marcus strolls by, dog in tow, and quips, "Maybe the system's fact-checking you." Even her Tesla gets in on it each time she spouts pseudoscience. I've programmed it to honk quietly, which she takes as support. She packs up, still live streaming, warning her handful of viewers about community awareness sessions and organizing a campaign. As she drives off, I can practically see the gears turning. She thinks she's winning. So I up the ante, more sensors, more education, and yes, more Tesla tricks. I'm not just defending my property now, I'm making a point. Then comes the community center showdown. She's packed the place, PowerPoint at the ready, folders for everyone, even a projector she can't work every few slides. It jumps to vacation pics of her in Cabo or hugging dolphins. Neighbors are cracking up, snapping photos of her beach slides. But Vivian soldiers on, warning about dangerous mixed utility violations and threats to property values. Mrs. Patterson, no-nonsense widow from down the street, asks if Vivian's ever seen a septic system before her late husband was a plumber and she's not buying it. Time for the final lesson. I trigger the community center's sound system. Fun fact about waste processing. Vivian freezes, confused. Outside, her Tesla honks every time she gets something wrong. Then I corner her during a break and ask real loud, "How'd you discover my violation?" She brags. "Professional research. I came looking for hazards, documented everything." Marcus recording catches the whole admission, trespassing, harassment, the works. Then her whole demo falls apart. She slams her hand down for emphasis, collapses the table, essential oils everywhere. Projector cord yanked free, and just perfect, her browser history flashes up. How to fake environmental expertise, waste tank violations for dummies. The room goes dead quiet, then bursts into laughter. But the real twist, Tom and Lisa Bennett stand up. Vivian did the same thing to them last year. Faked violations, pressured them into selling, got a cut from a developer. The community turns on her, slow clapping her right out the door. But the story's not over. Vivian, humiliated, doubles down, bringing a camera crew, a lawyer, and half the county to my driveway, 3 days later filing a formal complaint. I'm ready, email in hand. I show the inspector her history of false reports, her evidence of pH strips and essential oils, the developer connection. Neighbors line up to back me, and even the inspector gets it. Pool chemicals aren't professional testing equipment, ma'am. Her meltdown goes viral. Her lawyer bails the county, walks away shaking their heads. Just as I'm enjoying my win, Marcus drops a bombshell. We'd taken a shortcut on my electrical system years back. A minor code violation, nothing dangerous, but real. The next week, a real inspector with real equipment shows up, finds the mixed utility line, and writes me a $500 ticket. I'm stunned. Vivian's circus was all fake, but she'd accidentally uncovered something real. But here's the thing, my neighbors rally around me. Mrs. Patterson brings a casserole and $50. The Hendersons loan me their generator. Marcus organizes a work party. And in a week, we fix everything up to code. The community sees what happened, code violation or not. Weaponizing fear and bureaucracy to harass neighbors is never right. Vivian's victory is hollow, and her online followers split. Some see her as a hero, most as a joke. 6 months later, my cabin is fully legal. Marcus is elected HOA president in the Honest Energy Education Center. I started as a joke, draws people from all over to learn about real off-grid living. Vivian's antics have become a cautionary tale, and her assets are auctioned off to cover court fines. I end up buying her Tesla, now decked out in bright green and covered in waste management facts. It becomes a teaching tool, visiting schools to show kids the difference between real science and snake oil. The irony, her fraud inspired actual environmental education. And Vivian, last I saw her, she was bagging groceries, a shadow of her former self, staring at the car that once made her feel powerful but now teaches kids about the truth she never bothered to learn. She sent me a letter once short, no return address, saying she hoped the car did more good now than she ever did. Funny how things turn out. The real lesson, in the end, it wasn't about who won the fight. It was about making sure no one else fell for the same act. So tell me, what's the wildest HOA drama you've seen? Drop your story below. Let's remind each other what real community looks like.